Hey, welcome back to Bird's Nest, everybody. Today, gonna do some smoked catfish on my pellet grill smoker, my Traeger smoker. What I've got here are my catfish fillets. I like to I skin them first, and it leaves a kind of a thin membrane on it here, which helps out, in my opinion, for grilling. I get my grill, smoker, whatever, really hot to start, and put it, I call this the inside of the fillet, down first, and just sear it, get a good sear. And then for the duration of the cooking, the rest of the smoking time, grilling, whatever, put that skinned side down. There's kind of a thin membrane. Honestly, if I skin them like this, even frying them or whatever, that doesn't seem to affect the flavor, in my opinion. But it serves as a little bit of a protective, kind of an insulator when that side is down on the grate. It doesn't seem to stick. So what I'm going to do now, I've soaked these for a couple days in salt water. It helps remove the blood and any kind of fishy taste, and rinsed them out really well to get the majority of the salt out. Now what I'm going to do is just put them on some paper towels and get them dried out. I like to dry them very thoroughly, as best I can. I'll show you how I do that. Trying to get all the moisture as deep into the fillet as possible. That, in my opinion, helps create a flakier fish, and it doesn't get as mushy. So here's my little seasoning thing. I like this for whatever I'm cooking. I like to customize my blends, my seasons, depending on what I'm doing. So I like to put it in this, and I can just shake it all up, and it's good to go. So I want to season all these up pretty good. And these whole fish, I want to get inside and out the cavity. And it's basically, it's a rub at this point, a dry rub. It's like for barbecuing or grilling or smoking any food. I want to kind of rub that in a little bit, make sure it penetrates everywhere. Rub it in nice on the fillets. I'm going to flip them over and do this side also. Then the last thing I'm going to do for prepping these is just a little bit of olive oil. I'm just going to drizzle a little bit on here. I don't want to saturate them, just enough to give it a slight coat. Okay, I'm out to the smoker, and we're at about 350 right now, and that's about as warm as I guess it's gonna get today. And I got the fillets here. Like I said, I'm gonna start out putting the inner side of the fillet down on the grill first, and I'm getting a little sizzle. You can hear that, and that's what I'm wanting. I want to hear that sizzle a little bit. That means I'm getting a decent brown on them, or some char marks. And then these guys, I'm gonna put one side down at a time, and then I'll flip those too. So. Alright, I've got them on. Got plenty of pellets loaded up. I'm going to get this lid shut quick before we lose too much more heat. I'll come back out in about 5-10 minutes, see how they're doing, then flip them. And but in the meantime, let's go inside and I'll show you how I'm going to do that glaze. Okay, welcome back indoors. Got the catfish fillets and the 2 smaller whole ones on the smoker outside. And back inside, now I'm going to make the glaze for it. And like I said, I'll wait about 10 minutes or so, go out, check them, and if I've got a decent sear on that downside, then I'll go ahead and flip them over and then reduce the heat down. So what I'm going to start out with is some sorghum. And I don't know if you are familiar with sorghum. It's similar to honey. Honestly, I don't remember exactly what makes the difference, what exactly sorghum is, but it's kind of like honey, but it's got a little bit of a bite to it. I grew up, I know my grandpa would always put it on cottage cheese and use it in his barbecue sauces. So I've always liked it. I use it in barbecue sauces, and I think it works pretty good as a little glaze. And like I said, I'm not going to put a super thick glaze on it, just a light coat, because I think with the rub we put on them and just the natural smoke flavor, I think is going to be pretty darn good without adding a whole lot to it. So I use my finger, my family won't know. It's some pretty sticky stuff. Like I said, it's kind of like honey, but it's got a little bit of a zing to it. The next thing I'm going to add is some balsamic vinegar. I like balsamic. It's kind of sweet. It's a really good. I use it with all kinds of marinades and whatnot. And then I'm going to add, maybe a teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce. Josh, at Pig Patrol, if you ever happen to watch this video, you're pretty good at enunciating words. You're gooder at it than I am. And this, I'm going to add just a little squeeze of ginger. Like I said, this again adds a bit of a zing. That sorghum, like I said, it is pretty sweet, and I want it sweet, but I also want it to have just a little bit of bite. So now I'm just going to start whisking this up, and this just takes a little time. That sorghum is thick. You just need to give it time to kind of break down. That vinegar will help in that. You can see it's starting to thin out a little bit. You can smell that vinegar. And you know what? I think it's fish. It wouldn't be fish if we didn't do a little bit more lemon. So we got to do the trick. We got to roll it around, loosen up those juices. I'm going to cut about a third off. Those are pretty decent, like jumbo lemons. About a third off. I cut it to the side, that way I don't have to deal with the seeds. And then I'm just going to put, I don't know how much that is, a teaspoon or so. Just a decent squeeze in it. And that'll kind of brighten it up too. I'm going to taste this. I might add a little black pepper. Give that a little sample. Oh, I like that. That's good. That's real good. I think I will add just a little bit of black pepper. Taste that. Yep, that's good. That's good. That's what we're going with. So I've got my glaze ready to go. I'll just set that aside, and I'll go out and check those fillets, like I said, and now probably in about 5 minutes, see how they're doing, and I'll let you guys know. Take a peek at them. Okay, so we're back out here at the smoker. I did check them. and the grill's just not quite getting high up to temp to actually sear it. It's just a little too cold out today and the wind's blowing, but it is starting to firm up a little bit, and I don't want to overcook them, so I turned the heat, reduced my heat down to simmer, or to, excuse me, to smoke. And now what I'm going to do is, with that glaze, I'm just going to go ahead and kind of dab it on. Hit all of them pretty good. I had to steal one of Heather's paintbrushes to do this. I don't know where my... I like those little disposable ones with the kind of the blonde hairs on them, but I couldn't find any, so this will work. And these, I'm going to hit both sides. Stand that guy back up. Boy, that glaze is good. I want to make sure these are good and coated. All right, and that was just about the right amount. I'm gonna let this cook down. The other thing, I do have a little remote thermometer. It's a meat thermometer, but it'll tell me the actual temperature, and that way from inside I can see what the temperature is, because like I said, I want this grill, I want it to cool down to about 200 something. Obviously it was just open, so I'll come back out in a little bit, but 150 to 200. Now is when I really want it to kind of just slow down and really smoke and slow cook those fillets, those catfish. So, okay, now we just gotta wait. I'll let you know. I'll give you a little update here in a bit. Okay, so we're running a little under 200. It got up to 200 a little bit, so that's in the range that I want it. I just want to slow cook it at this point. We'll take a little peek. And they're coming along. You think those look good, little man? Yeah.
It's like
okay.
beef jerky steak.
Beef jerky steak?
Yeah.
Catfish jerky?
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm gonna close this back up, and they're firm, but they're not mushy. So I want them to really just slow cook and smoke for probably another 20 minutes. I think I'll let them go. I think we're done. I got my little thermometer here set to fish, well, 137. It's at 137, so let's check it out. There we go. I threw on some onion and green pepper, get a little smoke to them, and then inside I've got some Brussels sprouts sauteing and just some butter and water, and then I'll throw the green pepper in there a little bit and saute them around. But I'm thinking that looks pretty darn good. So I'm going to get these off the smoker grill and get them inside, and we'll give it a taste. See you shortly. All right, so we're back inside with our fish, and I did some Brussels sprouts, baked potatoes, some green pepper and onion there, but let's go ahead and a little tough, but see, there's that layer underneath that it's kind of like salmon skin. You can eat it or just peel it off if you don't want it, but got some little bit of pink smoke to it, a little bit, but here we go. Let's see. Definitely taste the smoke and that glaze on top. It's a little sweet, but it's got a little bite from that sorghum, and then a little twang from the lemon juice. But definitely try this. You could grill it this way or whatever too, but I really like that smoked flavor. And there you go, smoked catfish. We'll see you next time.